Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another drawing in my Charlie sketchbook. For those of you who don't know, Charlie is my little mouse character and one of my art goals this year was to develop him a little bit more. So while I complete this piece, I will be talking about my experience so far on starting my art channel here on YouTube. Some struggles I have, a lot of struggles I have, and a couple of tips. But firstly, I just want to mention that the music in today's video was made for me by my talented friend Peter Faulkner. He is a professional musician and composer, and I'll leave a link to his website in the description below, so make sure you go check that out. And so thank you, Peter, your music is awesome. So let's talk about making a YouTube art channel. I'm going to talk about my experience by dividing it up into 3 parts, which will be as follows. I'm going to talk about the technical side of making videos, like things like equipment and the things that I struggle with there, the emotional side of making videos, you know, emotionally, and some tips I would suggest to those of you who want to start your own channel. I started this channel in October 2017, which was about 4 months ago from now, so I still have quite a lot to learn and improve upon, but I wanted to make a video on my experience so far. So I'm going to begin by talking about the technical side of YouTube videos, and I use the word technically very loosely, as I'm not technically minded at all, so if I can do it, you can. So it's an absolute myth that you need expensive equipment to start making YouTube videos. That's wrong. Obviously quality equipment will give you a more professional look and make it easier, but if you are just starting out, you only really need a camera that films in high definition, and most smartphones can do this. I attempted to use my smartphone, but it kept corrupting after a minute, so obviously that wasn't any good, and I don't know why this happened. So I bought a second-hand camera, a very basic camera for around £50 from a second-hand shop, and apparently it's a Panasonic DMC Z7. So it's a really old camera, but it does the job for now. It also only records for 15 minutes at a time, so I have to remember to start recording again after 15 minutes, and I sometimes forget to do this, which is shown by the jumps in progress on some of my speed paints, where I've gotten really into drawing the artwork and forgotten to check the time. But it's fine. I also have a desk tripod, which I bought from Amazon for about £7, and I have 2 white desk lamps, which I bought from the range for £6 each. And that's all the equipment I have at the moment. And it's taken me quite a while to find a decent setup, decent-ish setup anyway. I started by setting the camera up on the tripod and angling it down, and the angle was a bit awkward. I was also filming at my art desk, which is in a dark corner, and the lighting wasn't great. So for the last few videos, I moved my camera into the living room and put my desk in front of the window to utilise natural light, and to fix the camera I taped the tripod onto a small block of drawers and weighed it down with a heavy book. So here it is, here's the photo of my setup. Look at that, it's so professional. But yeah, you really don't need expensive equipment when you're just starting out, you just have to utilise what you have and be inventive with it. I do want to upgrade my equipment eventually, but I want to see how my channel goes before doing so, rather than invest a lot of money and it not kind of work out. For my voiceovers, I don't own a microphone, so I use my smartphone. That also took some time to adjust to, as it was quite crackly and quite poppy. But I made my own pop filter from an old pair of tights and a coat hanger, which I put in front of my phone microphone. Again, very professional, but it works. The final thing I will talk about in this section is the video editing. I began by using Windows Movie Maker. I found the whole concept of editing overwhelming, and I found that Movie Maker was straightforward, but it's also very frustrating and quite limiting. It worked for a while, but I wanted better software. So I hunted around and I found Sony Vegas Pro for a huge discount on Humble Bundle, so I bought that. I found it quite difficult at first, so I was still using Movie Maker to do the time lapses and put it all together, and then I was taking it across into Vegas Pro and adding effects and stuff. But with each video I found new techniques and I'm slowly getting the hang of it, and this is the first video I've edited fully with this software, and that's a big achievement for me. I still have a lot to learn technically, and my videos have a long way to go, but with each video I'm slowly learning and I'm constantly leveling up. And you will too, like I said, if I can cope with this, anyone can. So now I'm going to talk about my experience with YouTube, you know, emotionally. So I started getting back into art and taking it seriously over a year ago. I started following some of the big YouTube artists and I got inspired, and I began to think, I want to do that, but I didn't know how. I felt overwhelmed and extremely nervous about putting myself out there. It took me about 6 months to finally decide to have a go. And one of my biggest worries was recording the voiceover, not just technically. I'm not a very confident person, and I'm very shy and not very good at speaking off the cuff and sounding natural. I usually have to script things. I can't just talk or give a presentation without thorough notes. in my first voiceover that really comes across. But I've learned to be a lot more free, and my last video, the cheap art supply challenge, I didn't script it at all. I just kind of watched the video and recorded the voiceover. Another thing is that YouTube is quite hard work. You have to make the content, and with art it can take quite a long time for some pieces take a few hours, and then you have to edit, record the voiceover, render the video, schedule, write the description, and so on and so on. And for me, art on YouTube is a hobby, so I make videos at the weekends. I can't really make videos in the evenings at the moment because I'm relying on natural light, and living in the UK, it gets dark at 5 o'clock. It also takes me longer because my technical knowledge is pretty much non-existent. And this can be quite disheartening when you're first starting out. When you spend hours making a video that you're quite happy with, and you upload it, and then you go back onto YouTube and you watch some of the bigger channels and you see how great their editing is and how slick their filming is and how great their artwork is, and then you look back at your own video and think, why can't I make videos look this good? And I do get quite down about that sometimes, but it's not helpful or realistic to think this way. These people are professionals, they've been working for years to build up their following and their video quality, and I'm not. It's been 4 months for me. I've only been on YouTube a very short amount of time. And it's okay that my videos are a little cringy and the art and the quality of the video don't match up to these people. It's something to aspire to, not something that will happen overnight. It can be easy to be quite corporate minded when you're making YouTube videos. What I mean by this is you start thinking things like, what type of videos will get me the most views? How can I utilise my channel to get more subscribers and views? This type of video isn't doing so well, so maybe I should make content that people want to watch even though I really enjoy making this type of artwork. Obviously you want people to watch your videos, but you also want to enjoy what you're doing, especially if you're a hobbyist, which I am. You need to find a balance, and you don't want to be discouraged from making the art you love. It is really hard. I recently watched 2 really inspiring videos, one by Hello Alice on lowering your expectations and one by Chloe Rose on losing her love for art. I found both of these really useful and inspiring, and they were really true as well. And they really gave me the final push to start talking about my YouTube experiences in this video. So I'll link both of them down in the description below, as I really would recommend them. So finally, I'm going to try and give you a few tips if you're thinking about starting your own art channel. If you made it this far, you'll know I'm definitely no pro at this and I have a lot to learn myself, but I hope you'll find these useful anyway. Tip number 1, utilise the equipment you have. You don't need expensive equipment. Be inventive, search YouTube for camera setup tutorials, experiment with different ways to set up the camera, and remember, a bit of duct tape goes a long way. Tip number 2, watch vlog channels. A lot of YouTubers, including artists, make vlog channels, and you can learn a lot from these. They often talk about setup, editing, and answer questions at the end even. They also give you a great idea of how much work goes into making a career from YouTube, if that's what you aspire to. A couple of examples of ones that I watch are Bumble Bailey, Daily Jazza, and All J Vlogs. I'll leave links to all of those in the description if you want to check them out. Tip number 3, be patient. Growing a YouTube channel takes a lot of time. You're not just going to get a huge following overnight. Finding the niche and getting a comfortable setup takes time and hard work, but you will get there. And finally, tip number 4, just do it. If you're considering making a YouTube channel but are on the fence, just do it. That would be my advice. You will learn as you go. For me, the hardest part was posting that first video. That was only 4 months ago, and I already look back and see how I've improved. Making videos is like anatomy. The more you practice, the more you'll improve. And if you go back and look at my first video, which is my free marker challenge, and compare it to this video, I'm hoping you'll see the improvement. So that's all for today's video. I hope you find it useful and interesting. I also hope you like this little Bob Ross Charlie here, painting his happy little cheese. I think I'm going to develop this idea into some merch maybe, so watch out for that. So let me know in the comments below if you have any tips on making an art channel. Please feel free to subscribe if you're new here. I post a new video every Thursday. Also, if you like this video, you know, emotionally, please hit the like button. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. Sorry if my voice is a little bit funny at times in this video. That's because I have a cold at the moment, so it's not a technical problem, it's a nose problem. Alright, I'm going now. Bye!